That dynasty's over. We did what we had to do. It doesn't mean, it's not about what it means. You know what it means. You can turn your cameras up to the screen and know what it means. We did this.
He confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says.
Toronto, let me hear you say, let's go. Say, Drake, I hear you like a bomb. You better ever throw the sound like bomb.
Well, this is Jag at the Kendrick Lamar and SZA concert in Toronto, Canada at Rogers Centre Stadium. So who's Jag Singh? Jag is a Canadian former politician who served as the leader of the New Democratic Party from 2017 to 2018.
Things just got crazier. Drake tried to ban Kendrick from Toronto again, and now he's losing it. He's even throwing shade at Canadian politicians just for showing up at Kendrick's concert. In case you missed it, Kendrick shut down Toronto last week with a sold-out show, and Drake snapped when he found out top city officials were in the crowd, rapping along to Kendrick's diss tracks.
Former federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says he shouldn't have gone to Kendrick Lamar's show in Toronto last week after Drake called him out for it.
But wait, it gets even messier. A leaked plan just dropped showing how Drake's fans allegedly tried to pull off a full-blown OVO takeover to mess with Kendrick's show. Want to know how that whole OVO takeover plan totally backfired and turned into a straight-up mess? And what went down after Drake threw shots at that politician over a concert? It's wild. You gotta hear this. Drake's unraveling right in front of us. And don't go anywhere, because we've also got the newest tea on Drake's lawsuit against UMG.
No American dude is gonna come to the 6 and claim the 6.
Let's get into all the madness. Drake just straight up called out a Canadian politician for pulling up to Kendrick's concert in Toronto. And he didn't even wait for it to leak. He posted the receipts himself. A screenshot of the message he sent to Toronto politician Jagmeet Singh. Maybe Drake thought dropping it first would keep him from getting clowned. But nope, that move backfired hard. Here's why it flopped. Drake's screenshot showed they've had some past interaction, but it's not like they were close. Back in 2019, Singh publicly thanked Drake just for following him.
He was at the show, and you telling me that he only listened to the SZA parts and only jammed out to the SZA parts? I wonder if there's gonna be some video evidence that proves that he's full of shit.
Then in 2020, Singh mentioned Drake in a story. That's it. No real connection, no friendship, nothing deep. And then, radio silence. For nearly 5 years, not a single DM. But suddenly, right after Drake found out Singh showed up at Kendrick's Toronto show, he hit him with a salty message. "You're a goof!" Petty doesn't even begin to cover it. But don't feel bad for Singh just yet. Because wait until you see what he fired back at Drake. Right after Drake called him out, Singh jumped on his stories with a super cringy apology, basically begging Drizzy to forgive him. And here's the kicker. He actually claimed he only went to the concert to see SSA, not Kendrick.
He jamming, turn the TV off. So it probably wasn't loyalty. The reason why he probably apologized was because y'all probably in his DMs threatening him and getting all mad at him because Drake posted it to his story with his millions of followers, and you guys don't know how to be regular fans. You don't know how to take an L gracefully, so you're gonna sit there and get mad at anybody that shows love to anybody that's Drake's ops. But Drake has a long list of ops, so you guys are never going to rest.
Singh wrote, "I went for SSA, not Kendrick. I was born in this city. I love this city. But real talk, I get it. I shouldn't have gone at all. OVO and Drake have lifted up the city in Canada. For me, it'll always be Drake over Kendrick." But here's where it gets awkward. Singh was literally caught on camera vibing hard to Kendrick's performance, like full-on dancing in the crowd. And let's be real, SSA is talented, no doubt, but ain't nobody buying those tickets just to see her. That show was all about Kendrick. Fans even shared a clip of Singh having the time of his life at the concert. including while Kendrick was performing.
Superpowers get neutralized like the only right and silent. Famous rapper we once knew was looking paranoid and now spiraling. Moving just like a degenerate, every antic is feeling distasteful. Calculate, not as calculated, how can you predict your angle?
Not like us, the diss aimed straight at Drake. This whole thing is just messy. One fan pointed out that Singh probably dropped that apology because some unhinged OVO fans were flooding him with threats. No joke. And that fan might be onto something, because wait till you hear what Drake's Toronto supporters were really planning. They tried to pull off a full-blown OVO ambush at Kendrick's concert. A group of fans cooked up a plan to sabotage Kendrick's show by launching an OVO takeover. One fan even posted a public call-out on Instagram, telling all Six God supporters to swarm the Rogers Center at 5:30 p.m. on June 12th and 13th, right before Kendrick's set. And get this. They said the mission was to remind them who runs the Six. But wait, it gets even crazier. These fans were really out here telling folks to show up with speakers, blasting old school and new Drake tracks, rocking their best OVO drip, repping the Six, and claiming the whole city was behind them. And what was the reward? Free pizza and OVO hoodies for anyone who pulled up. Seriously.
Mr. Duckworth, where were you between Saturday and May 4th, 2024?
I don't keep up with dates. I got a million things on. I don't know.
Saturday, May 4th.
I don't keep up with dates.
2024?
Bro, I don't keep up with dates, man. I don't know, man. I'm in the air.
Okay, does this ring a bell? Drop. 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 Drop.
Well, history was made that night, but not by Drake's crew. Kendrick stole the whole spotlight. Even with Drake trying to block him from touching Toronto and fans out here threatening Kendrick's team to stay out of Canada, Kendrick and SSA still kicked off their grand national tour with a bang. 2 back-to-back sold-out shows at the Rogers Center, right in Drake's own backyard. And get this, Toronto ended up ranking in the top 5 best-selling cities on Kendrick and SSA's tour based on total ticket sales.
Drop, 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 drop.
But Kendrick didn't just hit the stage. He came to bury Drake right in his home turf. He didn't hold back. Kendrick dropped not 1, but 3 diss tracks aimed straight at Drake. Euphoria, his verse on Like That, and the fan favorite, Not Like Us. He even opened with Euphoria after SSA's set, and the whole stage split open to reveal Kendrick standing solo on a staircase. Spotlight on him, spitting every bar with cold, calm intensity. It was a moment. Then came Like That mid-show, red strobe lights flashing, the energy was off the charts, and Toronto fans were screaming the lyrics right back at Kendrick. But the moment that really had everyone losing it was Not Like Us. The performance kicked off with a fake deposition video, and this eerie off-camera voice asked, "Do you recall what happened on May 4th, 2024? That date?"
According to sources, Drake's camp tried to get Kendrick Lamar shows at Rogers Center Stadium in Toronto either canceled or postponed so they can do OVO Fest there. Now, according to sources, attempts by Drake's camp to have both tour shows canceled or postponed allegedly took place in hopes of booking OVO Fest. However, by then, paperwork with the Rogers Center had already been filed.
Yeah. That's when Kendrick dropped Not Like Us and officially ended the beef with Drake. Game over. And the second that beat dropped, boom, the Rogers Center exploded.
And no other venue in the city could hold the same capacity. Now, people were questioning who these sources of Justin Tinsley were. He said, "I wouldn't write it if I didn't get the information from those close to the Rogers Center. If it ultimately is proven to be inaccurate, then I will cross that bridge when it gets here. That's what journalists do. But I trust my sources highly." Now, I don't think this is a far-fetched story at all. I think people on
Drake's own hometown crowd went wild, yelling Kendrick's bars out loud, including those savage lines about certified PDF files and the accusations aimed at Drake.
a certain side of things don't want it to be true, because if that is the case, then said person or said camp failed to get it done, so it makes them look bad.
That night made history, no question. And you know what makes it even more brutal for Drake? He's never performed at the Rogers Center himself. Not once.
So we got tickets to the Grand National Tour starring Kendrick Lamar featuring SZA. 2 dates in Toronto. But what kind of statement are we making as Toronto broadcasters if we give away these tickets?
We can't do this. As Toronto broadcasters, we cannot give away Kendrick Lamar tickets.
It's wild. Because it's the end of the tour. It's also on Father's Day. You know all those things Kendrick was saying about Drake not being a good father?
Mm-hmm.
It's a statement. It's a victory lap.
I want to say Drake has put Toronto on the map.
Yeah.
You know, tell us about you. You would never be here.
I probably wouldn't have considered living in this city had it not.
And to top it off, it's actually kind of hilarious. Drake and his crew were doing everything in their power for months trying to shut Kendrick down before the show even happened. Even though Drake couldn't stop Kendrick from hitting the stage, the backlash before those concerts got completely out of pocket.
Been for the influence of Drake. Like, at the time where I moved here, Toronto was the utmost of relevant cities worldwide. I was like, oh, Toronto? Absolutely.
Drake donates so much to this city that we don't even know about. Helping communities, helping the Raptors. How about the All-Star game here to Toronto? He's done so much for Torontonians, and we are laughing in his face when we're giving away Kendrick Lamar tickets.
What are we gonna do?
We're done.
We're not giving them out.
Just look at some of this madness. Radio host Jamar McNeil and Josie Dye from Chum 104.5 straight up refused to give away Kendrick tickets on air as some twisted show of loyalty to Drake. But it didn't stop there. Toronto rapper and longtime Drake affiliate Top 5 took it even further. He went online posting threats aimed at Kendrick's team. And it gets worse. Top 5 was also caught with his crew circling Kendrick's hotel the night before the show.
Here's the thing. He said you should, and this is what I don't know. And I'm gonna ask Drake. I'm like, Drake, is this true? He says you should have heard this, Drake, what he was saying to us before we whipped his. This is what he told me. I said, what do you mean? Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really knew Drake speaking to anybody. Like, you know, Drake has told me he hasn't spoken to Dot directly, but I didn't know about if he spoke to anybody else in and around Dot.
Yeah, they were lurking. Then, of course, came the infamous flop attempt. Drake fans trying to launch that weak OVO takeover at the Rogers Center. Total chaos. But when it was go time, that so-called OVO takeover flopped hard. Organizers tried to blame the cops on site for shutting it down, but let's keep it real. Barely anyone showed up. Meanwhile, Kendrick walked into a packed arena full of Toronto locals screaming his lyrics like it was his city. Kendrick's back-to-back sold-out shows in Toronto weren't just a win. They were a straight-up public takedown of Drake. But just when it looked like Drake might finally take the L and move on, things took a darker turn. Now, leaked info's coming out claiming Drake wasn't just trying to shut down Kendrick's concerts, he was allegedly moving like some mafia boss behind the scenes.
Anthony Saleh, he confirms to me, yes, Drake was sending me voice notes talking crazy like he's a mob boss. That's what he says. He says Drake is saying to him, Drake is saying like, yo, I'm gonna done you, like just talking crazy like, yo, niggas is watch, yo, you guys think you could finish me? Da-da-da-da. Crazy. All of a sudden, they're like, then we drop the bomb, right? It's not like us.
Word is, he was leaving threatening voicemails for Kendrick's team for months. And this bombshell, it came straight from DJ Academics. He says he personally spoke with someone close to Kendrick's camp who confirmed the threats. According to AK, Drake had been dropping wild voice messages throughout the entire beef, trying to shake Kendrick's crew. Academics revealed all this during a recent live stream, and what's crazy is, until now, there hadn't been any reports of Drake even reaching out to Kendrick or his inner circle during the beef. This changes everything. Behind the scenes, Drake was really out here trying to scare Kendrick's people, talking slick like he was some kind of mob boss. But here's the twist. According to academics, right after Kendrick dropped Not Like Us, Drake suddenly went silent. No more threats, no more voicemails, nothing. So what happened? Why'd Drake go from acting all tough to vanishing overnight? One theory floating around is that Not Like Us didn't just diss Drake, it hinted at something way darker. The track touched on rumors about OVO's alleged ties to a sketchy PDF ring. And just like that, all of Drake's big talk disappeared. Drake completely backed off Kendrick, and instead of going after the folks who actually penned those lyrics, he turned around and filed a lawsuit against his own label, UMG. He's accusing them of letting Kendrick defame him. Wild, right? But here's the thing. If Drake really thought those lyrics were slander, why not sue Kendrick directly? Makes you wonder, maybe he's scared that dragging Kendrick into court would blow the lid off those shady allegations and make everything public. For now, we gotta wait and see how it unfolds. UMG's already clapped back with a motion to dismiss, saying Drake's claims are totally off and that the lyrics are just protected opinion. That hearing's going down June 30th in the Southern District of New York. Let's see what happens next. This lawsuit could go two ways. It might move forward into depositions and document digging, or the judge could side with UMG and shut the whole thing down before it even gets messy. Right now, Drake's fate is sitting in a federal judge's hands. And while all that legal smoke's rising, Drake's quietly wrapping up his new album, Iceman. Word on the street is he's picking his targets, choosing his words real carefully, and trying to clean up the mess before the release drops. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and drop your thoughts in the comments. See you on the next one.